Are you struggling with adding the xtotal count header in your Spring application? You're not alone. Today, we're diving into how to automate this process so you can focus on building your app instead of wrestling with headers. I totally get it. Manually adding headers can be tedious and error-prone. Many developers face this challenge when working with REST APIs, especially when pagination is involved. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked, is there an elegant way to automatically add the xtotal count header in Spring when returning a JSON list? This is a common concern, and we're here to find a solution. To understand the issue, let's break it down. The xtotal count header is crucial for pagination in the admin on REST UI. It tells the client how many total resources are available, which helps in building pagination controls. Stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear method to automate this header addition, making your life a lot easier. To automatically add the xtotal count header in Spring, the user can create a custom response wrapper. This wrapper will intercept the response and add the header before sending it back to the client. Next, the user should implement a filter that will use this custom response wrapper. This filter will be responsible for wrapping the response and adding the xtotal count header based on the total number of items. In the filter, the user can retrieve the total count of items from the service layer or repository. This count will then be set in the xtotal count header before the response is sent. Finally, the user needs to register the filter in the Spring application context. This ensures that the filter is applied to the relevant endpoints that return JSON lists. Fun fact, did you know that headers in HTTP responses can be as important as the content itself? They carry vital information that can change how clients interact with your API. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach involves using a controller advice to automatically add the xtotal count header. This method checks if the response is a page type and adds the total number of elements from the page to the header. If you're using paging and sorting repository, ensure to call the pageable version of methods to get a page instead of a list. If not using repositories, you'll need two queries to get the data and the count. Now, let's shift our focus to a different response. An alternative solution involves using the response entity to automatically add the xtotal count header. The user retrieves the total number of elements from the page object and includes it in the response headers. The user also notes that if the content range header doesn't work, you should change it to xtotal count. Here's a pro tip. Always test your API responses using tools like Postman or curl. This ensures that your headers are being set correctly and your pagination works as expected. And there you have it. You've learned how to automate the xtotal count header in your Spring application. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks to enhance your development skills.